Hi my dear students, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to explain about thyroid gland, parathyroid gland and also the thymus gland. See, as I told you in the previous video also, when we look at class 10 Ncert textbook, the diagrams given in the textbook which is related to the glands and hormones. There are so many glands which are being mentioned, but not about every glands. They have given the detailed explanation. So with respect to examination point of view, I am going to explain each and every gland in detail. So without delaying much, let us continue today's session. So firstly, I am going to talk about thyroid gland. See, I will be also telling you what kind of questions that are being asked from this particular concept. So the three things that you have to know whenever we talk about the glands are, one is where exactly the location of the gland is. Secondly, we have to know what kind of hormone is released by that particular gland. And thirdly, the function of that particular gland. So now when I talk about thyroid gland, where is the location? Where is it located? See, thyroid gland, it is located. So the location of the thyroid gland is, it is present in the neck region. It is present in the neck region. And what kind of hormone does this thyroid gland releases? Thyroid gland releases or secretes thyroxine hormone. Remember, thyroid gland releases thyroxine hormone. Okay, right. So what is the importance of this thyroxine hormone in our day-to-day life or in our body? We need to know. See, basically, the meal that we consume, the food that we consume contain some amount of carbohydrates, some amount of protein, some amount of vitamins, minerals, fats, everything, right? See, once the food that we take inside our body, it undergo a process of digestion. So during that digestion process, metabolism of fats, carbohydrates and proteins play a very important role. Even we understood this in life process lesson as well. See, in the life process lesson under the nutrition in human beings, we understood how exactly this proteins, carbohydrates and fats get digested and in what form they are getting converted into. Correct. So carbohydrates get converted into glucose. Correct. Fats are converted into fatty acids. Similarly, the proteins are converted into amino acids. And this conversion takes place with the help of certain enzymes that are being secreted or produced by pancreas. That means basically chemical reaction is taking place here. So for that chemical reaction to happen in an appropriate manner, thyroxine hormone is coping up. That means it is helping. How is it helping? The function of thyroxine hormone is, it is responsible for overall metabolism of fats, carbohydrates and proteins. Remember, this is very important. And you must also know the meaning of the word called metabolism. What is meant by metabolism? See, the meaning of metabolism is nothing but chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction which is taking place with respect to fats and carbohydrates as well as protein is basically taken care with the help of thyroxine hormone which is produced by thyroid gland. So this is very important. So note down the function also. So my explanation will be little bit lengthier. Why? Because by keeping the concept in the examination point of view, I will be explaining every concept in detail. So understand everything in a very crystal clear manner and then try to answer for all the questions that will be given in the examination. So the function of the thyroid gland, overall metabolism of fats, carbohydrates, note down as a running notes. I told you in the previous video also, whatever I write it on the board, you have to note it. Fats, carbohydrates and proteins. Okay, right. So related to function, they may ask a question. Now, how is this thyroid gland is releasing thyroxine hormone? We also need to know about this. See, thyroid gland to secrete or to release thyroxine hormone, it needs some kind of stimulation. That means someone has to activate this gland. Who is this someone who is actually activating thyroid gland? It is the iodine. So iodine plays a very important role in our body. If you do not consume the required amount of iodine to your body, then definitely you will face problems related to thyroid gland. Why? Because this iodine will activate the thyroid gland to secrete or release thyroxine hormone. Okay, thyroxine hormone is released by thyroid gland. But who is activating this gland to release thyroxine hormone? It is the iodine. So intake of iodine plays a very important role. What happens if you don't take sufficient amount of iodine to your body? They also ask the question based on this in your examination. So what happens? Suppose if you don't take proper amount of iodine to your body, we call the condition as lack of iodine. Suppose there is lack of iodine in your body. When there is lack of iodine in your body, what happens is, obviously thyroid gland cannot secrete required amount of thyroxine hormone. Correct? So then what happens is, the thyroid gland, basically it will be in the shape of butterfly. This thyroid gland, which is present in the neck region, due to the lack of iodine, the gland will swell. The gland will swell. The swelling of thyroid gland due to the lack of iodine leads to a condition called as goiter. Remember, this question they will ask in the examination. Okay, how is goiter caused? Goiter is caused due to the insufficient intake of iodine to our body. Is that clear? So that's why doctors always advise to take the proper amount of iodine to your body. How do you get iodine to your body? Exactly, you must know about this also. See, every food that we consume, maximum, right? Your parents, that means when we cook the food, what happens? We add salt to the food to get a taste. See, the salt is not only providing the taste for the food. Along with that, it is also responsible for our thyroid gland. Okay, so the salt that we eat actually contain iodine in it. You can see the packets of salt will be labeled as iodized salt. Why? Because it contains iodine. I think I'm very clear with this concept, right? So these are the certain things that you have to know when it comes to the concept of thyroid gland. Is that clear? So the gland, where is it located? Which hormone is it secreted? And what is its function? And then you must know, how does this thyroid gland releases the sufficient amount of thyroxine? It is due to the sufficient intake of iodine. Lack of iodine leads to a condition called goiter. During this condition, the thyroid gland will swell. Okay, I think I am clear. So now that I am going to explain you about the next type of gland, that is parathyroid gland. Yes. So parathyroid gland is the next one. I hope you all have noted this. Parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland. Where is parathyroid gland located? See, this is thyroid gland. A butterfly shaped gland is thyroid gland. So below the thyroid gland, beneath, see, if this is the region where thyroid gland is present, just below this thyroid gland, beneath, that means behind. The location is neck only, but behind and below the region of thyroid gland, this parathyroid gland is present. So obviously the location you can write it as neck. Location is neck. Clear, right? So what kind of hormone does it release? Parathyroid gland releases a hormone called as parathormone. Parathormone. So this is the name of hormone which is released or secreted by parathyroid gland. Parathormone. What is the importance of parathormone hormone in our body? So this parathormone, which is released by parathyroid gland, will actually regulate the calcium and phosphorus levels in the bone. See, our bone has both calcium and phosphorus as extracellular matrix. What is extracellular matrix? The region where which is present between the cells. See, most of the people don't know, most of the students, they don't know what is extracellular matrix. That means, say for example, if this is a bone, see, this will be a region where there is bone marrow is present. The cells of the bones are present here. Okay, so between these cells, whatever is present, this is called as matrix. Why is it called as extracellular? Something which is present outside the cell is called as extracellular, or we can also call it as intercellular. So between the matrix, that is between the cells of this matrix, it has some amount of calcium and phosphorus. This calcium and phosphorus regulation will be taken care or maintained with the help of parathormone. I think I made you very clear. This is very important to know. So what is the function of parathyroid gland? The function of parathyroid gland is it regulates calcium and phosphorus level in bone. Calcium and phosphorus level in bone. Okay, so this is all about parathyroid gland. Where exactly it is located? Just below the thyroid gland, lower portion and behind. Is that clear? This is the location of parathyroid gland. I think I made you clear. So now let us understand the next gland, that is the thymus gland. So what is thymus gland? Where is it located? See, this area is called as chest area. In the chest area, the lungs are located, and these lungs are protected by the rib cage, correct? But between these lungs, there is some gap, and the gap which is present between these lungs has a kind of gland. See, if these are the lungs, I just write a rough sketch of it. Okay, these are the lungs. Between this region, okay, between the chest area, there is a gland which is located at this location, and that gland is named as thymus gland. So what is the location? Already I told you. Where is the location? The gland name is thymus gland, and the location is between the breastbone. Between the breastbone, thymus gland is located. And what is the hormone that is released by the thymus gland? The hormone that is released by thymus gland is thymosin. Thymosin is the hormone that is released by the thymus gland. So now that you must know why this thymosin is released in our body. See, thymosin mainly performs the activation or the maturation of immune cells. You all are familiar with the word called immunity. What is immunity? The strength of the body. See, if somebody is getting cold or cough, viral cold, viral fever in your classroom, and if that guy come and sit in between, what happen? So maybe 1 or 2 person also get infected with that, but not everyone is suffering from the viral fever or cold. Then why only 2 people are getting that? Because their immunity power is less in the body. Immunity is nothing but strength of the body. And when we are small, the immunity is basically low. That is the reason this thymus gland, when we are very small, the size of the thymus gland is very large. Why? Because to provide more and more immunity. As we grow up, what happens? The size of the thymus gland automatically decreases. Okay. The only purpose why this thymus gland is present in our body is whenever we get infected, our body should fight against those disease-causing microbes. Obviously, right? So to fight against those disease-causing microorganisms, our body cells should be prepared. What kind of cells should be prepared? Immunity cells should be prepared. So for the maturation of those immunity cells, the thymus gland is responsible. I hope I am very clear with this. Okay. So that's all for today's class. In this video, whatever I told about thyroid gland, parathyroid gland and thymus gland, please focus and write all the points and understand these things. In the next video, remaining glands and hormones I will complete. Thank you so much.